All right, guys, before I show you the hunt, I just need to preface the season up until this point. So this year I had the most big bucks I've ever had on camera. So it was a pretty exciting year for me, being able to, chase after a handful of nice bucks. The first property with the biggest buck was in my mom's backyard. Before this year, I've never had a picture of a buck on camera out there, but this was the first year planting a good food plot, only a 1/4 acre food plot, and almost instantly bucks started showing up, and one really nice buck was in there, but he only showed up before season, and once season started, he never showed up again. The other chunk of land was my fiance's family land, and that's just a 2-acre chunk, but a lot of good bucks were showing up then, during season and in daylight too. And even though it's a 2-acre chunk, it's huntable, and I spent most of my time in that area, but never had a chance at one of the target bucks. Then the last chunk of land is our family's main property. Had this land ever since I've been alive, and there's one nice buck, the crab claw buck, and as you'll see, that's the one I end up getting. But I didn't hunt that property too much, just because my dad and uncle were in there chasing this buck, and they had a couple encounters with him, but never a chance to get him. And I was out hunting these other properties, and then the last weekend before gun started, I sat one night at this property, and as you'll see in the video, ends up turning out in my favor. So yeah, just wanted to preface kind of my year up until this point, give you guys a background of what led me to this hunt, and yeah, hope you enjoy. Alright guys, this is my last hunt before gun hunt starts next weekend. I am sitting in OG spot. This stand has always been good to me in the sense of seeing deer. I can see a super far ways. I've only shot one deer out of here, but I've had plenty of opportunities with my bow. Actually, my first opportunity at a shooter buck this year was out of the stand. I'll show you some of that footage right now as I'm speaking. Dad and uncle have been sitting around this area, and they've seen some good bucks moving throughout here, so I know they're gonna be in here. Only issue tonight is it's just ferociously windy out. We got like 25 mile-an-hour winds with gusts up to about 34 mile-an-hour, and you can definitely feel it. We are in the woods right here, so you'd think we'd be tucked away a little bit, but still not that tucked away. I can feel it. Be wearing my face mask. It was very windy last weekend and a couple days during the week, and no deer showed up, but those were other spots, so seems like the wind has some impact on it, but I guess we'll find out how much of an impact. So fully expecting to see a handful of deer tonight. Ideally can see a nice shooter buck. So there's a first for everything, and I've been on a huge bubbler kick recently. Not sponsored by Bubbler, not sponsored by anybody, but I do love bubblers. good luck charm. I'll come to you. Okay. Alright, bye. Okay. I didn't even explain what's going on, so I've just been sitting here. What time even is it? It's 3:14. I don't know, maybe 2:45-ish he came in. But I'm sitting here, didn't even hear anything, didn't even see a deer yet. Oh, there's another deer in the creek right now. I don't even care. So this, I didn't even see the buck first. I looked to my right and I see the shadow of the rack, and the shadow was like amplified. So the shadow looked like a 250-inch deer. And instantly I just started shaking. I'm like, holy cow. And he just starts walking in right down the creek, coming right to me. Biggest buck I've ever seen in my life. Ever. He's huge. Biggest buck ever. And he just keeps coming in. So I get my camera, I start filming, and in my head I'm like, what am I doing? Why am I filming? I need to grab my bow. So I try and grab my bow and I try filming simultaneously. And since he's walking right at me, he sees me. And so I'm spotted and I'm like, great, like he's gonna take off like any minute here. And I'm not even drawn back or anything. So in my head I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna zoom out camera as far as I can. And I'm just gonna hopefully get a chance at him. Hopefully, I don't know, probably won't, but hopefully. He turns his head for a second, I pull back, and I just shoot quick. And I hit him, I know I hit him, but it was middle body and low. Not great. I'll have to look at the footage to see exactly where I hit him, but not a great shot. And he didn't even take off hard. Which, now that I'm talking about it, makes me second guess myself a little bit, but he just casually kind of walked off, and I was shaking so bad I couldn't even get him in camera walking off. But I watched him for a good 30 minutes, just casually walking, stopping, and eventually I just lost him. So I'm gonna go look for the arrow. There might not be any blood on it because I shot him right in the crick, so it might have washed off everything. I don't know. Oh my god, I'm still shaking. I'm gonna go find the arrow and then get out of here because my wind is blowing right down there. So exciting though. Biggest buck of my life by far. Biggest buck I've ever seen. I was just talking about how I never shot one with my bow out of here and had opportunities, and dude, straight out of a movie, right down this creek. Right down the creek he comes. Okay, I'm gonna get out of here. See my arrow now. Luminox going off. Alright, my GoPro just died, so I'm taking a video on the main camera. I don't know where it cut out, but here's the arrow. It's covered in blood. Alright, I'm gonna get out of here before I booger anything up. But I'm excited, let's go. At least I hit him. I mean, anytime you shoot, you black out. I figured I hit him, but then you second guess yourself. So, glad it's a hit. And go back, look at the footage, and make a game plan from there. Most likely gonna wait till the morning just to give him time. Well, almost positive that it's a liver hit, so gave it exactly 8 hours. I'm just grabbing some of my stuff here, and we're just gonna go get a look at what we're dealing with, see if we have any blood, take a look at what the blood looks like, and then go from there.
Red blood. Yeah.
That's really good. Alright, so late last night we went and took a look at what we could find for blood. We found blood and a decent amount of it, but what we confirmed is that it was for sure a liver hit. That really dark red blood was present, so we probably could have kept looking last night, but I just wanted to be extra cautious and just figured it's best to wait till the morning. So it's the morning now. We're gonna go back out there and look for him. I'm thinking that the buck will be laying there dead where I last saw him, probably 200 yards from where I shot. So we'll see. Feeling hopeful. Around blood, but it's not much, and we're moving slow. All right, little update. We're about 2 hours into the track job, gone about 200 yards, and you'd figure by now that the deer would be dead with a liver shot. Based on everything that you read, they say up to about 200 yards and they'll bed. I have my Onyx tracker on to know exactly where I've been, and it seems like he's just been taking main trails. So we've been taking main trails and following them, but the blood is so sparse it's hard to find. So I found a spot between the two main trails and finally found blood after about an hour without blood. We were just about to contact a drone guy and back out, and I just wanted to just stay a little bit longer out here. So now we got blood. Again, it's not thick, it's sporadic, but it does help us understand where he might be bedded. And there's a really thick area in here, and there's a creek. See, this creek runs through there. I already walked that. My dad walked that, but there's a lot to it, and it's pretty thick. I think he's tucked in there dead. So, feeling hopeful again, but we'll see where this goes. Tracking right now, there's a nice buck right up over here. All right, guys, it is now about 26 hours after the shot. Timeline of events, waited 8 hours last night to go look. Found blood, but not a ton, so we backed out within 10 yards of looking. Waited till the morning, got up, first light, got out there. Finding blood was difficult. We'd find blood every 25 or 50 yards, and it was slow moving. So from the impact site, that buck ran about 200 to 250 yards before he lost blood. Had a drone guy come in the daytime just to see, but it was impossible to see everything with the sun being up. So didn't see any deer, didn't see my buck. He's coming back tonight after dark, around 6 o'clock. Shortly here, any minute. My buddy Saw's bringing up his dogs. Gonna give it a go with them. And then Sam and my uncle are also coming up to help track. So we're doing everything in our power to find this buck. So yeah, between the dogs, the drone, and more guys, I really hope that we can find them. Then there's that orange stick, that's last blood. Yep.
Good boy, good boy. Good boy, Dad.
Okay, I guess the dogs just found blood. Probably 150 yards the direction that none of us were looking. So I got far walk to go over there. See what she looks like.
A little bit that way.
I'll mark this on Onyx. That's gotta be him, Dad. Please be him.
That's him.
That's him. That's him, baby. All right, guys. So, well, you can't see me, but all right, we got him. It was 29 hours later. The drone finally found him after about 30 to 45 minutes of flying. He was only like 60 yards from where the quad was and just overlooked him right away. And just based on the body, he's been dead for a long time. He probably died within the first 3 hours of me shooting him, but he did run/walk for quite a long ways. We lost last blood after about 600 yards, and then he was only another 100 yards from there. So I'd say between 600 and 800 yards total he went. But we got him. It's so exciting. It's my biggest buck ever, biggest bull buck ever. So I'm excited. Rock on, baby.